So this is going to be a very emotional video because I'll be discussing two players that might likely be leaving Arsenal before the end of the current transfer window. And I'm personally very emotional about it because of how much impact they've already made at the club. Now, two things can be conflicting, but they're also true at the same time. Let me start from Gabriel Martinelli. Does he deserve to be treated better given the 7 years he has spent at Arsenal and what he has achieved at Arsenal? Yes. But also, does Mikel Arteta need to make a decisive decision if he can upgrade the left wing at the club? The answer is also yes. So the balance is where we have to draw the line. A very good case in point or standard example that will help us decide what should happen in Martinelli's case is what happened with David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale. 2-3 years ago, Ramsdale was having a fantastic time as an Arsenal player. Excellent goalkeeper. He was not the best in the league or nearly the best, but he was good enough to give Arsenal the opportunity to challenge for the Premier League title. That particular season where he played last before Raya came, Arsenal finished second. We lost the league to Manchester City again. And Arteta was desperate to upgrade as many areas of the pitch as he could. He identified the goalkeeping position as crucial. And he went for David Raya. At the time, the English press attacked him. They called him all sorts of names. And I personally was kind of torn between, because I wasn't sure of if we should be replacing a player that came from a lower team. I think it was Brighton or so, to Arsenal. And I wasn't so sure. I wasn't so convinced about that move. And Raya eventually ultimately had to leave Arsenal. He moved to, I think, Newcastle. And I think he's now in the Championship or so. I think he's the second choice goalkeeper at Newcastle right now or something like that. But today, David Raya, everybody will thank Mikel Arteta for that bold, decisive decision. Because David Raya is not even arguably, he's clearly the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. And in the world right now, you can even argue he's one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. Now, I'm one of those people that believe that you should allow the manager to run the team. As a fan or as a member of the club or as a director or as the owner of the club, your job is to give the manager the resources he needs and expect results from him. Arteta is being decisive again. We've seen him being decisive with the likes of Aubameyang when he left the team. And now he's going to be decisive with Gabriel Martinelli. And for us, it's very emotional because I personally am one of those people that believe that Martinelli has not really given Arsenal all that he can give. We've seen him do better in previous seasons. We've seen him drop off in form. And people have been a bit very critical about him. And in my opinion, he's still not the worst performing winger Arsenal have. We still have the likes of Madueke, who some people believe he should be given more time. But in my opinion, even though they're not the same position, if you're going to be selling a player right now, I'd rather you sold Madueke than cashing in on Gabriel Martinelli. I'm emotional about Martinelli because I feel like we've not fully exploited his potentials. I feel that a club that understands him better, maybe even plays him as a centre forward, might get a version of Martinelli Arsenal were never able to unlock. And we've seen players that have left Arsenal and become better. There are a few players that I still regret Arsenal selling. Like the one we sold to Bayern Munich a few years ago, the right winger we sold to Bayern Munich, I can't remember his name right now. But with Martinelli, it looks like he has come to the end of the road. And I feel very bad because even though he didn't score, he scored only one Premier League goal, very crucial goal though, against Manchester City last season. He's the highest scoring player in the Champions League for Arsenal. He scored, I think, 10 or 11 goals in the Champions League. And he's actually the second highest goal scorer in Arsenal in 2025-26 season. So selling Martinelli like he has not delivered feels a bit kind of like a mixed bag. At the same time, just like I said earlier, Mikel Arteta has to be given the full power to make the decision that he feels best for the team. Arsenal are actually a victim of their own success because it's very difficult to upgrade a title-winning side. It is really difficult. And if we're going to have to upgrade the team with the likes of maybe Julian Alvarez, what I'm hearing today, Alvarez might likely be coming to Arsenal. I'm hearing also rumors of Victor Osimhen, but I think Alvarez is the more likely person that will end up at Arsenal. We might end up sacrificing somebody like Victor Gyökeres in the process of completing that deal. I don't know how that will play out. But either way, and however it goes, some extremely decisive decisions have to be made. And Martinelli moving on is also one of those things that we might have to, a bitter pill, but we might have to swallow that. We just need to be careful because I remember when Liverpool won the league last season or 2 seasons ago, they sold a player called Ruben Dias to Bayern Munich in a bid to upgrade the team. They ended up with Ekitike and Isak. And as of today, Cody Gakpo is the one playing on the left wing and Liverpool are a shadow of themselves. They could not defend their title and they've still not gotten to the level they were the season they won the Premier League, where you had the likes of Salah and you had the likes of Ruben Dias and then, the attack, which was very effective that season. So Arsenal need to be careful. If you're selling a Martinelli, who is right now a squad player, even with the arrival of Zolis and Martinelli, I'm sure he's happy to be a squad player rotating with Zolis on the left wing. But if you're going to sell Martinelli, my caution is make sure you are getting a better player. You might splash the cash on Yildiz or Alvarez as a center forward / left winger. But whatever you do, my only caution to the squad and to Arteta is make sure you are overall upgrading the quality of the team. And it might not be very obvious what will end up happening. But one thing I know for sure is that the likes of Gyökeres, their link-up play is not as good as the likes of Kai Havertz when he's fit. And just think of Gabriel Jesus, how he links up well with the midfield. He might not score too many goals. I think that's what will end up happening if Arsenal end up getting Alvarez. You might not see him score 25 goals a season, but he will link up very well. If he stays fit, he looks like a very fit person. He will link up well with the midfield. He will connect well. The game will be overall very fluid. The goals will come from everywhere. Think of the season where Gabriel Jesus gave us, I think, 25, 30 games. He didn't score over 10 or so, but overall, Arsenal were scoring goals from every corner. And it was a very fantastic season. I think we were run-ups to Manchester City that seems to have won the league. That level of fluidity, last season Arsenal did not really take off. We were barely scoring goals from set pieces, and the goals were few and far between. So my caution is, while you are trying to upgrade the team, be careful not to downgrade what was already working. But at the same time, we need to let Mikel Arteta do his thing. If there's a player he has decided to let go of, in this case it might be Martinelli, and maybe also Gyökeres, we have to trust him and hope for the best. I personally would think if one player has to leave this season, it shouldn't be Martinelli. I would rather we lost somebody like Madueke before we start to lose a player like Martinelli, but they're not the same position anyway. So let's let the manager do his thing, trust that he knows what he's doing, and back him whatever the outcome. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. Next week, I'll be dropping the video on the Premier League season prediction after the transfer window is short or close to the end of the transfer window, when we'll have seen clearly all the ins and outs. Don't forget, don't miss out on that. So subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video. I'm out. Cheers.